you are perhaps gaining insights into deeper causes of your suffering. But the good news of that is you are beginning to transform it into strength. Maybe a difference in your way of thinking of relationships. You may be considering ending a relationship or cutting off certain connections, but I'm kind of seeing it in a transformation on how you see things. You know, this is a wisdom that comes with maturity and time. And it seems like maybe some very deep-seated things are sort of starting to come to the surface that maybe you've even been afraid to address throughout your life or just unconscious of. We often put things to the side that are traumatic or difficult to observe about ourselves. This is about completing an old chapter and pushing forward into stronger and greater foundations. You may have someone around you waiting for your communication, or situations you may be like uncomplicating. They may even be sort of pessimistic, but you know, addressing the internal mysteries to evolve. And it's funny because you're represented by the Hermit, and in the Rider-Waite Tarot, he's not walking in this one. He's, you know, looking up at that temple, looking to higher things. But in the Rider-Waite, he's actually walking away from these cups in order to progress to the Hill of the Hermit, to gain deeper insight, wisdom, and so on. So the message is the same, but the interpretation or illustration is a little bit different. With the way that you're seeing things, I feel like you're looking at past actions, decisions, cycles in your life, and maybe coming to understand how they've really brought you little to no avail, or you're developing a sense of understanding your possibilities and gaining a sense of self-control to evolve. Again, this whole thing is about evolving. You may even receive some assistance or may need assistance, like especially if it's around like addiction or something like that, maybe. But this results in justice. I would say also maybe in your career or in your work life, because there is a note of materialism, wish fulfillment, and justice. And, you know, sort of letting go of these ideas that you can't necessarily control. And maybe for a long time you didn't exactly know where your passions were. And maybe you even made a decision to leave behind certain things that you're passionate about, and they're sort of resurfacing and in a much more successful way. So let's say that you tried something in the past and it didn't pan out for you and you kind of threw in the towel, but now it's sort of coming back to nag at you, and you find that when you do it, you see very successful results. You know, it's like looking at change with resistance, with fear, but then starting to approach it and look at it differently on what, you know, life can be and what you really hold value in. I'm also hearing, you know, sticking to integrity as far as your values or maybe certain spiritual teachings or just life, you know, morality, things that you sort of find value in. Because again, the whole thing is about evolution, change in your habits, change in your way of seeing things that is going to help you to transform into better tomorrows, you know, and gaining a control of momentum and a sense of self-control and a sense of self-understanding. Though you may not fully be there yet, you're on your way.